Hi everyone, Cindy here. How is everybody's Saturday? I hope it's great. And I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. It's sunny. There's a lot to be grateful for. And, I don't know if you guys have gotten the chance to listen to today's featured speaker on He's Gonna Love You. If you don't know him already, his name's Charles Orlando. He's amazing. He's just a straight shooter and a straight talk when it comes, straight shooter. I can't even talk. And really speaks from experience and research and knowledge, and he's just like you and me, right? He's very he doesn't pull any punches, so to speak. And I appreciate that because I'm much that way when it comes to my style of teaching and coaching and helping others navigate this journey in, love and creating the kind of relationships that you really desire. And if you're on, just give me a big thumbs up or a heart. Please post any of your questions down below. And, Charles and I covered a lot of material, and, we did talk about, showing up, how to show up in relationships, right? And what to look for when it comes to healthy partnering. So I'd love to hear your guys' biggest takeaways around that. Not to mention, you guys really looking at the fact that, this relationships are the most important areas of our life. And good morning, Susan. And, I want to make sure to, really dive into that piece and look at, okay, so we need to take responsibility for our part in relationships. And that can be challenging when you felt like you've been hurt or lied to, or the man just isn't showing up the way you'd like him to. And what is our part in that? Unless there's been physical, emotional, verbal abuse, and you know who you are if you've been there, there's a part in that you take responsibility-wise. And a lot of this is around setting healthy boundaries. And, I guess the place where I really want to go is recovering from heartbreak and what that looks like to you, and how to do it in a way that it doesn't keep coming up. And, sometimes, in the conversation I have with Charles, sometimes we're just not relationship ready. But we can also keep ourselves the best kept secret, right? And keep reliving these moments over and over again. So if you've been through a painful breakup, I'm sorry, I've been there myself more times than I'd like to count. And, the silver lining to that is you get to have an opportunity to process it. Look at your part in it, feel the feelings, and also it's kind of like, I always look at that piece like the ocean, right? The waves, the waves hit us, and the emotions can hit us at times that are unique, or something can come up in a time that you least expect it. And when that happens, it's good to sit with it, notice it. It was funny. I actually had something that popped up from a past relationship just the other day. And I thought that's really interesting. And I had forgotten about what was said, and it was and I thought, gosh, that was really disrespectful. and how did I handle that? And what do I get to, what's the opportunity there, right? So you guys, it's like, how did I handle this? What's the opportunity for growth? What's the opportunity to handle it differently? And when you work yourself through those things and taking just proper responsibility, not overtaking responsibility, but really taking it on like, okay, this hurt and this is unfortunate. And, you know, it's also paving the way for the right person to be there. And if you can't open your eyes or your heart, then it's going to be really hard for the right person to show themselves to you. And, you know, so that's my 2 cents on that. And, you know, when it comes to that, you know, and it might seem easy, right? Process it. It's painful and things come up, but write about it. And really get clarity on, okay, so moving forward, what do I want? And remember, we teach people how to treat us. So how are you setting boundaries, right? Not in an angry activist sort of way, but in a way of, you know, this is, you know, in looking at what am I willing to accept? What am I not willing to accept? How am I, you know, able to be spoken to? Or not able, but how am I, whoa, Cindy, sorry you guys. What am I willing to be spoken to like, right? And I think that's a really big deal because, you know, a lot of times it's easy to sweep things under the carpet or make excuses for somebody that they didn't really mean it. But how are you showing up, right? How are you showing up? So if you set a boundary, oh wow, that really hurt my feelings when you said that. Or I'm feeling like that statement was out of line. Could you explain that to me? And the reason why I feel that way is because that statement felt disrespectful. And it's taking a deep breath around it and, you know, really digging into what that is. And when we call someone out, right, it's like you want a partner that's going to bring the best out in you and you bring the best out in them, and you're inspired with them to be a better version of you. And so, you know, those are some things to really look at. And sometimes relationships don't work out and we think, oh, that was what I really wanted. I'm looking at some of your guys' statements. If you have questions around this or questions around anything, I can answer. I'm really happy to do so. And hi, Fiona. Oh, it's so good to see you on here. And that's great. I'm glad you did that, Sarah. That's a powerful feeling, you know, setting boundaries and letting a partner know your needs. But going back to, you know, when a relationship doesn't work out, right? And we think, oh man, this was the one. I really wanted this to work, or I thought it was. And, you know, sometimes things are removed. You know, the things we want are removed to actually give us the things that we need. So remember that. And I don't want to see you, you know, being, you know, staying hidden for 3 years. It's processing through it and moving forward. And yes, you're always going to have those memories and they're part of you. it doesn't go away, right? If a relationship ends and it causes pain, it doesn't go away. But what it does come to is a different way of managing it and a different way of showing up in the world. And it gives you an opportunity to really embrace what loving, healthy partnership is. And it gives you an opportunity to look at, okay, so how could I show up in a relationship where I feel this way? So write these things down. Like, what do I want? What do I need for a healthy, sustainable partnership? What can I deal with? What can I not deal with? You know, deal breakers as opposed to, you know, things that, yeah, you know, yep. I believe that too. Susan just said, I believe that people are removed from our life to make room for the right people to come in. And I agree. And sometimes we need to remove them, right? We need to make those empowered choices. And yeah, you know, if Fiona made a statement and she was talking about the fact that she realized she was accepting crumbs. And that is, you know, that's how we end up setting up the relationship, where possibly when he pulls away, you start to overcompensate or give a lot because maybe you feel like, oh, did I hurt his feelings? Did I do something wrong? Right? Yeah, and that's also something that, you know, if you want to feel cherished and adored, right, you got to look at, you know, if your man doesn't give you even a gift for Christmas, or, you know, recognize Valentine's Day, or, you know, it's laziness and taking the relationship for granted. So what can be done differently? Well, you can talk to him. You can say, look, you know, here's where I'm at, and this is what I'm noticing. I feel like I haven't gotten I haven't even gotten a Christmas gift or even a Valentine's card or a simple smooch, I love you. And that really hurts my feelings. And I'm looking at being in a relationship where we grow together and we grow in a similar direction, hopefully. And we really adore one another. And I'm feeling like that may not be the case here. We might be on two different pages. And, you know, let me know what it is you're thinking, because you know, at this, I may need to move forward. And, you know, speaking from your heart and the truth in a calm, rational manner, instead of in a, you know, I'm angry, you know, and nobody's perfect all the time, but and, you know, if those are things that were unacceptable, you know, if you were experiencing things that are just not acceptable to you, what is great about this partnership? And why wouldn't you say something like, wow, I mean, that hurt my feelings? And I think a lot of times as women, we will ignore it, not say anything for fear of rocking the boat, right? So I want to empower you guys to speak your truth in a loving way. Like, you know, say, gosh, I adore you, David. I think I really love X about you. And I'm feeling like our relationship is being taken for granted, right? And here's some of the instances. Give a couple of examples. And what I need is to feel loved and cherished and adored in partnership. I don't know if that's something you're willing to provide or not. Let me know how can I support you in providing that. I'd love 24 roses and a beautiful card, given the fact that, and a great walk on the beach, right? Given the fact that you've not only forgotten Christmas, but Valentine's Day, and a nice romantic dinner, whatever speaks to you. And if he doesn't show up, that's another conversation. The conversation is, I noticed we didn't do that nice walk on the beach, or, any of those things. But, and I'm starting to feel like we may not be on the same page in this. And I want to make sure that I communicate about this, because it hurts, right? And I don't know that you are really wanting to be in this. And I think a lot of times people, as human beings, we do what we think we can get away with, right? If he thinks that he can get away with not doing it and still have you and still get all the benefits of being in a relationship, then he's not going to do it. But if he is inspired to want to treat you well, give you flowers, show up for you, then you'll see a completely different side. And he may, for his own blocks or reasons, may not be capable. So there's that too. At any rate, I hope this was helpful. I'm sending everyone so much love. Please feel free to post any questions, comments below. I will answer them. I am so excited to chat with you guys tomorrow. I'll be on here live as well. And we'll, and let me know if there's anything that's on your heart that you'd like to know that I can help with. I would love to. All right. Sending love. Mwah, everyone. Bye.